Hello, and this is going to be Specter of Torment low percent for AGDQ 2018. 3, 2, 1, go. So low percent is a particularly challenging category for Specter, but we'll get into that a bit later. For now we're going to cover his basic toolkit. And he has a slightly shorter jump than Shovel Knight, but he makes up for that with the ability to climb up walls, Ninja Gaiden style. And he can also do a dash attack off of enemies whenever he's airborne. And so long as they only have one hit left, he'll get a clean dash straight through them. Otherwise he gets a very long recoil animation, so we're going to try to avoid that whenever we can. But we will be dashing as often as we can because it's the best movement option we have available. And we can also dash these lanterns, and if you are just close enough to dash to an object, you can also dash off of the object for a double dash. Yo, Mario Kart strats. That one was a little risky. Those skulls are actually, those would count towards my percentage if I ever collected them. So I have to make sure I actually avoid all of them. It's not so bad that that one's like right at the beginning of the flames. And Specter can also do really tricky damage boosting. What makes his damage boosting so difficult is that compared to all the other knights, he has the least amount of a slide animation. So I really have to be right up in an enemy's face, turn around at the last moment, and then I have to swing my scythe to get a proper damage boost. Climbing ladders sucks. I'm gonna try to avoid that whenever I can. And that green chest up there has a health wisp in it, which that's part of the reason why low percent is so difficult. I'm not allowed to pick up any of the health upgrades. I'm also not allowed to pick up any of the weapons, and that makes a lot of the boss fights very, very interesting compared to the regular Enchantress. We can skip having to climb that ladder by jumping up the wall there. Specter does jump faster than he would climb the ladder. And you may have noticed that Specter has that ledge hop animation. We're going to try to skip that whenever we can too. It's pretty slow, it costs about half a second.
Nah, this run is fine.
Every time we have to resort to doing so. This is Black Knight and Terrapin. Black Knight has a very consistent stun lock. Actually, all of the knights have a consistent stun lock for Black Knight. Specter's isn't so bad, I would say it's around the middle. Plague Knight's is far, far worse. For Specter, you just have to know where to be attacking Black Knight from. And I'm going to try to finish this fight as close to the right side as I possibly can. That's because in order to exit this stage, Terrapin actually needs to make a hole in the right side of the wall.
Nah, this run is fine.
So this is the tower lobby, the main hub area for Specter's campaign. We're going to be here after we beat every stage. So after every stage, we're also going to sever this Duck Knight's head. Poor guy. But we get to do a dash attack off the statue's head. As far as level order goes, we can pick the stages in any order. That's really convenient for the other categories. It's still good for low percent and New Game Plus, because we do Explorium first. We're just going left to right. But the reason why that's useful is because Explorium has a lot of global cycles and really bad boss RNG. So it's nice to get out of the way early. You may have noticed that these pipes are all, there's green pipes all over the screen right now. That's to indicate that they are an unclimbable surface, and every stage has their own aesthetic for a unclimbable surface. The main hazard of this stage is this flowing water, and I'll have to do lots of bunny hopping to get over it. This stage does have a lot of other very lethal hazards, which is another reason why this stage is such a pain. Oops, that's not too bad. When you're doing a screen transition, time does not continue to pass, so I only probably lost like a second or so. I lost more real time than I did stage time. Just enough, however, that I couldn't make that cycle. I'm not going to try and catch that one. You miss, you die. That was a little scary. Those spike potlids deal a full heart and a half of damage, so I'd rather take damage from the spider's shots. Damage boosting in the air is very awkward and uncomfortable for Specter. I actually have to turn around and then swing my scythe and then move backwards, because I can't jump cancel my scythe swings. This is the Alchemeister. I have to fight him in the water, so I have to constantly be trying to fight the flow. I think I missed just one hit. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Just one hit off of a perfect kill. This room also has global cycles. There's no sense in trying to rush here. I will just continuously damage boost and end up catching the same cycle if I did. It's probably possible to avoid this Duck Knight, but it wouldn't be very fast. And the damage I took is not terrible, since there is food in the way right now. But this is the last plate that I'm going to be getting, so I'm going to have to make sure I don't take any more damage. I'm going to need that rat to get out of here. So Plague Knight is very annoying, because he likes to teleport around a lot.
Nah, this run is fine.
He also likes to put clones of himself up once you do enough damage to him. 5. That wasn't too bad. Now it's kind of bad, because now I'm going to have to chase him around a lot. Actually, what do you know? That's not too bad. Kind of so-so. I did lose out on some damage on him every now and then.
Nah, this run is fine.
So, fun fact, Tolu, who was also an adamant low percent runner as I am, we have both accidentally freed that skull and slipped down there and picked it up. That's a very sad way to lose the run. So this is Lost City. This stage actually has my favorite music in it. Very nice and tranquil, and that offsets how terrifying it can be. You can see there are a bunch of green slime blocks. They bounce Specter a lot. It's very bad to get pushed away by them, but sometimes you can use them to your advantage like that. They make this room particularly terrifying. There you go. You can easily slide into the lava there. Didn't quite damage boost in the direction I wanted to, but that's okay. I kind of have to wait on some fire droplets anyway. That's a birder. I mean, that's actually Steve. Yeah, that's his name, Steve. We love Steve. He's very helpful. He's actually gonna help me out right now. We got this, Steve. Yo, thanks for the assist. So that was Beetle 1, and all the knights have a way of skipping Beetle 1, thankfully. All thanks to Steve. Now this is a very long room, so I'm gonna have to be a little fast here and make sure I catch this lantern. Yeah, that loaded all the way once I entered. And this Duck Knight can be a troll. Sometimes he attacks pretty quickly, which is actually very helpful. I just have to react to it. Otherwise he can take his sweet time. You may have noticed that Specter is capable of breaking any destroyable objects with his feet, as opposed to Shovel Knight's pogo. That makes this room very scary, because I can't jump on the bottom. So yeah, green slime also has the ability to turn lava into something you can climb on, bounce off of, and it makes these lanterns reflect Specter instead. This room kind of sucks. This red Duck Knight can also troll me. He got me. It wasn't too bad. I'm still gonna heal though, just to be safe. That's one of the downsides of having to heal in that room. You kind of get stuck in there for a little while. Hello. Since we can't really skip this auto-stroller kind of thing here, we get to appreciate the background a little bit. Shoutouts to Waz. Did wonderful sprite work for this game. And this is a very terrifying room. I am recoiling off of these green slime blocks and then catching myself with the soul lantern there. And Mole Knight really does a lot of damage, so I'd rather have at least 3 hearts. I could go in with less.
Nah, this run is fine.
But the fight's also really, really tricky. I'm gonna try and get double hits on Mole Knight. And double hits are me trying to make the most of the active frames with my scythe. Let's see if I get the kill here. Very good. Now Whack-A-Mole, where is he? There he is. Got him. So yeah, Specter's Scythe, on top of being really, really big, as in, like, it also, the hitbox on it also extends backwards a little bit, it has a lot of active frames, which means that, from the moment I swing it, there is quite a lot of time where an enemy can walk into my scythe and get hit. So I'll actually swing before Mole Knight gets to me, and then when he's close enough, I can do a dash attack to him to get 2 hits per pass. But now we're in the second memory, or the first memory, rather. These are flashback sequences, kind of like Shovel Knight stream sequences, but we actually get to play a full stage. We're playing as Donovan, which is Specter's former self, and this guy throwing us around here is Luan. He's pretty useful, you know, most of the time. But in these flashbacks, we would not normally have access to any of our upgrades except health and mana. But this is low percent, so we're not going to have any of those at all.
Nah, this run is fine.
Poor Red, Manny, and Missy, all very eager to help us out here and give us some useful stuff, but we're gonna have to pass it up. So this is Iron Whale. As you can see, it's a water stage with lots of fun water mechanics. They're actually really not that bad in this game. I really appreciate how they handled underwater in this game. I do have to try and trick this eel here. Not too bad. Hopefully get a whiff dash attack, nice. And hopefully not die. Good. So you can see Specter takes a very long time to fall in the water, so whenever we can avoid having to do that, we will. Like I said, Specter's Scythe is really huge. Actually can get through the invincible portion of those tentacle arms and get to the head where they're vulnerable. This part can be a little scary. There we go. Gotta try and cut this stone brick before the anchor has a chance to clobber me. Doing good so far. Yo, we even managed to dupe this guy. Get hecked. So we're coming up on the mini-boss. We all like to call him 420 Fish. His actual name is the Teethalon. But the reason why we call him 420 Fish is because that angler chest is his weak spot. And sometimes he likes to get really, really high, which makes it very difficult to actually hit him. Prefer it if he were kind of lower to the ground. But double hits are actually barely possible to work on this guy. I'm going to try and go for as many as I can. Ooh, that was one. I need 3. Ooh, wow! Oh my goodness. So that is extremely difficult. I can't believe I actually got that. So yeah, by turning around the wrong way, I kind of trick Specter's Scythe into not targeting him immediately. And then I can float backwards into the chest to deal damage to it, and then I can do a dash attack while facing the proper direction. So yeah, that's incredibly difficult. I'm actually really happy I got that. This room I kind of can't really do anything to speed it up, so I pick up that health chest, or that dinner plate, because this is a very scary enemy. This is Bertha, and she deals 2 full hearts of damage if I ever get hit by her, so I really need to make sure she doesn't hit me. This last room here, these missiles are actually all on a global cycle. Ooh, and I just barely caught that one. Nice. I'd rather not die. This is actually really incredible pace for this stage.
Nah, this run is fine.
So this is Treasure Knight. He can be dangerous if I mess up the kill. It's a pretty consistent kill. I just have to make sure I don't take too much damage from him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very good. So yeah, all of his attacks deal full heart of damage. He's usually one of the most lethal knights, but because you only ever take bodily contact damage from him, it's usually not that bad. He goes down pretty quick. If you start to mess up, though, things can get pretty hectic. So after completing 4 of the night stage, we get a nice visitor, but he likes to break our window. We really can't have that. I'm trying to make a nice castle here for an order of no quarter. Invincible army of knights needs to have windows. This guy can be a little random though. So that was slightly bad RNG. He just jumped away immediately, which means I couldn't do as much damage to him on the first pass. That's not too bad though. He's actually kind of cooperating here. I actually did get a Rising Slash, which was really good, except he's slightly... Ah, darn. So he did get to the wall. If he ever jumps towards the wall, he will decide to stick to it. And then when he has that low amount of health, he tries to teleport and do his last 2 desperation moves. Not too bad, though. Reese was cooperative enough.
Nah, this run is fine.
So this is Flying Machine, and the funny thing about this stage is that any percent and 100% do this stage first, and they do it without any upgrades. So when I started running low percent, it was kind of a cakewalk for me because I was already really used to doing this stage without any help. Technically, 100% does this stage with something called the Dread Talon. Oh no! Oh, so that's really unfortunate. That would normally be a reset, but for the marathon's sake, let's just overlook that. I am terribly sorry. The skulls don't actually provide any benefit whatsoever. They literally just add percentage, so it's just a technicality of the run that I'm not allowed to collect them. This is the Dinghy Dropper. I missed one of the hits there. Still a pretty quick kill. You can reflect bombs, which is really nice. That's one of the few things that Specter can actually reflect with his scythe. Otherwise, he will destroy them, kind of like that. You can actually dash attack off these cannonballs, which is really cool. It makes for interesting platforming. So yeah, this is an auto-scroller. Not a whole lot going on. I do need to make sure I don't die here. Auto-scrollers are actually present in the 2 most difficult stages for the regular Order of No Quarter Knights. Stage difficulty is kind of determined by the amount of money that you would get from defeating the knight for that stage, and Tinker and Propeller both offer 3,000 gold for beating them. So it's the closest thing to an intended level order you can get for this character. Normally I would break this checkpoint. The muscle memory is real strong, because any percent and 100% really can't pass up on that red checkpoint. Lots of money there. This room can be slightly scary, because that fan can actually blow me up through the floor, right into those spikes if you're not paying attention. This room has a great strat. We call it Alternate Jelly. Don't ask what the original strat was. That was a cursed strat. We'll not be talking about that strat ever. So shoutouts to Speedfrog for Alternate Jelly. This is the Triple Jawa room. This room is extremely scary, because those Jawas can be extremely random and just blow you straight into a pit. I had to wait on an additional wind cycle here. Not too terrible. And this last room is not that bad. So we're coming up on Propeller Knight. Now, Propeller Knight is usually kind of a scary guy. He deals a full heart of damage with most of his attacks, and a heart and a half with one of them. Hold on. Doing good. I have to be careful to swing at him while he's moving, not after he stops. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect kill. Nice. So that's the kill that I go for. Azulite has an insane kill that actually nets all but the last 3 hearts of Propeller, and that's because Propeller Knight moves when you hit him if he's at a resting position, so it's really hard to get like lots of damage in on him. But if you hit him while he's moving, you can actually get free hits in on him. So that's kind of what I did throughout the first phase of the fight. But Azulite really took that really far and got double hits every time he passed through. So this is the Lychee Yard, and this stage is normally where we would find Specter waiting for us. But since we're playing as him, we obviously won't be fighting him. Instead, we will find lots of these frogs, which, that one was not feeling nice to me. That's Jeremiah. Jeremiah is, not a nice guy. I do, however, love this trick. This is actually really satisfying. Kind of wakes up the frog, and then you, do a dash attack off of it immediately. Another one of those awkward damage boosts right there. And, I totally love not being able to see. Not being able to see makes platforming extremely fun. Good. This room has some of the worst enemies, right up there with Bertha. Those are gravediggers, as we call them, and they actually will deal a full heart of damage with most of their attacks, but most importantly, they actually have like 6 health, so avoiding them is the only reasonable thing you can do with them. Just jump up there to skip through that wall. You didn't see me pass through it, but there are these invisible walls. Oh, wait, whoa. Okay, that's fine. Got stuck in there for a second. Yeah, it's a bit of a maze in that room, and I've been running a lot of categories lately, so I'm more used to like going out of my way for things like the skulls. There we go. Make sure I don't actually get clobbered by either of those guys. My health is looking good enough. I won't need to heal before I get to the boss, Phantom Striker, and this is not really enough health, so I'm gonna heal. A little worrisome here. I'm doing fine. This is less fine. That's fine. Oh man, that was a little scary. So yeah, I'm gonna heal here. Phantom Striker does enough damage, but most importantly,
this run is fine.
He gets invincible for long periods of time. So I have to make sure I can really endure the fight, and it can be tricky. There is a good setup for him. It's very precise, though. To bait this lightning ball over here. 2. Nice! I actually got him invincible. Perfect. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is looking good. Looking good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, I missed the last hit. I thought he was gonna get through me on the other side. Otherwise, that would have been a perfect kill. So in that first half, you have to do enough damage to him to force his desperation move, where he jumps to the center of the screen, raises his arms up, and the screen goes dark. It's very hard to get that specific amount of damage in on him before he teleports away.
This fine.
This is the second memory. Now we're at the second memory, and Luan is going to be kind enough to give us this, the Caltrops. Now, this doesn't count towards percentage, and it would have been in the first stage, but since we didn't pick it up there, he just gives it to us automatically. Yo, go Luan, go! Go Luan, go! Go Luan, go! Yo, he's going! Yes! So, Luan actually has a small chance to continuously run there. Very frequently, he will just take a break. Maybe he's tired, maybe he's not feeling it. But cheering him on tends to help him out. And these Caltrops, as you can see, is really helping us out here, kind of nudging enemies out of the way to more favorable positions. Ooh, that was a little close. Luan has a pretty good throwing arm. I'm gonna pick up this checkpoint for safety. The fight is kind of random. Shield Knight at the very start. I need to bounce these Caltrops off her shield. Very good. And she didn't run over one of them, which is not great. If she ever is in a charge like that, she won't take damage from it. And I really need to do more damage there. I'm gonna pick up this thing real quick. Uh-oh. Not looking good. I really need her to take more damage. Could you please run over that Caltrop? Thank you. This is looking really dicey here. Oof. Oof. Ah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, that kill really got away from me there. But this time, I guess I'm going to have full mana, so this is kind of more the kill that we would see in any percent. I would normally have thrown a couple of those Caltrops, so... Ah, there we go. Much more cooperative. Oh, no, wait, she still missed one. Dang it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is looking better already, though. 2, 3, 4, 5. Much, much better. Yeah, Shield Knight, if she decides to avoid a lot of your Caltrops, and if you start losing pace there, this fight can get really dicey.
Nah, this run is fine.
So yeah, one of the biggest threats in low percent is definitely dying to bosses. Bosses do take a while to defeat without any weapons. And now we're entering the Clockwork Tower. Now this stage has a lot going on for it. It's actually the longest stage in the game. Those conveyor belts, these mechanical rats, has a lot of unique elements going on. These things are really, really annoying. And I do have to make sure I don't get crushed here. I don't want to go and take that chance. There we go. That's a little better. It's particularly important that I don't take damage throughout this stage because there isn't a lot of food in the way. Early on, it's actually fine because there is a plate coming up, but for the second half of the stage, like once I start doing damage boost, there's really no recovering from there. Now this room, you can... I'm gonna wait here. It's not really possible to get there earlier. It really isn't. I challenged one of the runners engaged to that, and he actually found a way to clip through the floor. It is so precise that I was more mad that he found it was possible than anything. Coming up with task strats. Curse strats already. So yeah, that's the last time I'll really get the chance to heal where it'll be in the way. And I'm gonna be doing a damage boost in this room. Good. That one's a little tricky because the conveyor belt's pushing you the other way. One of the other reasons why this stage is so terrifying is because the checkpoints are also really far out of the way. So in order to actually keep this a little more marathon friendly, I'm gonna make sure I grab one of them. Poor dog. So funny story. Speedfrog, very good friend of mine, he actually challenged me to quite a lot of races for this character and this game in general. And one of the races we did was Titan mode, where the character sprites are 4 times their normal size. Not the enemy sprites, just Specter. And in this room, it's almost impossible to get through without taking damage. Actually, yeah, it's impossible to get through without taking damage. So don't worry, good quality assurance testing from the speedrunner fanbase. So that's the checkpoint that I'm going to be grabbing for safety. And this is a weak ceiling up here. Mr. Gentle found that one. Apparently you could just jump over the top there, but it's not that useful for low percent because we still would have to take a lot of damage just to go fast. And since we're going to be on such low health, it's going to make the Tinker fight very, very dangerous. You may remember that Shovel Knight and Plague Knight... Oh boy, this is, yeah. Gotta be a little careful there. Make sure I don't die from this guy. Yeah, help me out. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for the lift. You may remember that Tinker Knight actually had a gimme, a weakness for Shovel Knight and for Plague Knight. Shovel Knight could one-shot him with mobile gear, which was a weapon you could find in this stage. And Plague Knight just straight up did double damage. All of his bombs did a full heart to Tinker Knight to kind of compensate for that. But Yacht Club Games decided not to go for that in this campaign. Instead, we will be fighting a slightly different version of Tinker, who also has no weakness, so it's a very dangerous fight. Let's see if I can get some swag going. Yo, nice, I got it. Even though I already picked up one skill, I'm going to try and keep faithful and not touch any of the remaining skills. And yeah, 1 health is not enough. I took an extra hit somewhere, so I'm definitely going to heal. You would normally enter this fight with just 2 health, which is extremely dangerous because...
Nah, this run is fine.
This gear that Tinker's about to throw out will do a full heart of damage if I ever make contact with it. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2... Uh-oh. That's really scary. I don't like being on this side, so... Things are gonna get a little dicey, and I really hope that Tinker, come on, decides... this is fine. And one more. There we go. Perfect. And I do want him to be on the right side of the screen here.
Nah, this run is fine.
Okay, looking good. 2, 3. So yeah, you can see that he's going to try and bounce around every time he reaches a certain amount of health. And I actually walked off the platform with a scythe swing, which tricked the game into not giving me a dash attack. I basically fell onto him with my scythe out, so I managed to avoid getting one of those recoil bounces. So now we're coming up on Pridemore Keep. Very nice stage. Lots of happy tunes going on in there. But unfortunately, we have more intruders who don't know how to use the door. We're not buying whatever he's offering, so we're just gonna move on our merry way.
Nah, this run is fine.
So, Pridemore, very lovely music going on here. There is a damage boost I'm gonna try and do here. Good. Sometimes you can get knocked the other way there, because that lava is just not got the best positioning in that room. I am gonna try and... Yo, okay, I almost got it. So yeah, with that rat, you can actually dip low enough that you can kind of dash upwards towards where the ladder is. Lots of highly trained security guards. Let's see if we can sneak by. Excuse me, sir. Thank you. Doing a good job. So these books will be active for a little bit of time, and we don't want to have to hit them more than once. That means that this room is actually really, really scary. So I'm going to have to hurry here. Very good. That timing can be a little tricky, because it's more of a feel thing. This stage... So the stages can all be done in any order, and if you're not going left to right, I used to go right to left, because this stage is actually very scary. You can see I already have 2 health left from appropriate damage boosting. I'm gonna hope this is health. That's a bomb. That's great. A little unfortunate. That means I'm gonna have to heal later on, but even so, I'm gonna be doing a lot more damage boosting on this half of the stage. And that's the last food item that I'm actually really going to get. King Knight is particularly dangerous because one of his attacks deals a full heart of damage right at the beginning. More well-trained security guards. Yo, thanks, buddy. And this room also terrifies me quite a lot. There's a good chance that actually this rat doesn't often prove non-cooperative. Hopefully he's in the mood to help me out here. Okay, thanks. Now I still have to hurry. Good. A small chance he can float upwards. Rats are completely random, and if he floats up, I literally will damage boost and die. Let's see if I can sneak by one more guy. Very good. Okay, so I actually have plenty of health now, because that guy would normally deal a full heart for just coming in contact with him. Sneaking in some hits here. 2, 3. Whoa, yeah, don't want to fall. That's actually really bad. it does take a while to fight King Knight once he's up in the air, but he actually fell out of the sky pretty quickly. So yeah, you can see that I took 2 hits from King Knight. That means I would have been on half a heart by the time I finished that fight if I had accidentally taken that last bit of damage there. So this isn't really like the other memories where we can play a whole stage. This is just a cutscene we skip. Means we are getting close to the end of our journey here.
Perfect. I saved every single frame.
Optimal text mashing, I guess. So this is Stranded Ship. There's lots of ice, but there's also the rails, which is normally something you would see in the other categories because we would pick up rail mail, which allows us to do this. Oh, so you saw that kind of vacuum effect there. I don't know what that is. For some reason, when you grind and hit an enemy like that, you can actually kind of get sucked in the opposite direction there. It's very, very strange. Kind of hoping that this guy's in a favorable spot. That's okay. Didn't get to dash off of it. But ice does let you slip around. Ice is also very dangerous because it's an ungrabbable surface, so I need to make sure I don't slip to my death and have nothing to catch myself with. And this is what we call the Bifrost Broodmother. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the reason why we call her that is because there are what we call Bifrost Barf. There are these little rainbow ships that Shovel Knight and Plague Knight use as platforms. And that enemy is very, very unique. Unique to Specter's campaign, resembles those ships, but as a mini-boss instead. Now, these switches are really, really annoying because they have a lot of hit stop on them, like really a lot of hit stop. And it can sometimes eat your inputs if you're not careful. Very good. Managed to skip having to ride those rails a little bit. And speaking of rails, these rails are actually really, really annoying. Hello? Well, that's kind of terrible. So yeah, I'm not going the wrong way because I feel like it. These rails kind of glue you in the direction that they're facing. I can only even jump in that direction. Makes them very, very irritating. So I do have to hit these switches to get out of this room. And I'm gonna grab this checkpoint for safety. This stage is not as terrifying as Pridemore, but you do miss a lot of the checkpoints. And there are some ways you can die if you're not being careful. So fun fact, that Hammer Bros guy I just killed, that's actually confirmed by a bunch of Koopas who's our inside man. He's actually working with Yacht Club Games in their offices. So shoutouts to him, very, very cool. That guy is not targetable by Judgment Rush, and getting hit there is not great. It means I missed the chance to do that room's damage list, which is very, very precise, but that's okay. It's not something I always get anyway. One more chance to look cool, yeah. Yeah, but make sure you avoid skulls. Yeah, yeah. And for safety's sake, I'm actually going to grab this checkpoint and heal. Polar Knight,
Nah, this run is fine.
pretty consistent, but also kind of terrifying. Let's see if I can get some good strats on him. Fuck. Kind of follow him down. Follow him down, hold your ground. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! So yeah, the strat for him is basically a lot of damage boosting and just holding your ground.
Nah, this run is fine.
But now that we have recruited 7 of 8 knights for the Enchantress's order, she really wants one more. But she's really not a great girl, so we're gonna go ahead and switch sides here, start working for the good guys. Turns out it was her all along, go figure. Hey, Dolphy's back.
Nah, this
And
run
our
is
reward
fine.
for double-crossing the Enchantress is the hardest stage in the game. So this is the tower entrance. This stage is notoriously difficult, not just for speedrunners, but also because it contains elements from every stage. The game is kind of done hand-holding you because It now assumes that instead of just doing the stages in any order, that you've done all of them, so it kind of ramps up the difficulty. Let's see if I can get QuickBooks here. Nice. So yeah, that low dash attack I did prevented me from having to do that room and hit the books twice. I'm gonna do a very scary damage boost here. Come on! Nice, I got it. Ooh, yeah, that's a little scary there. Your invincibility doesn't last forever. And that is an additional damage boost, which makes the rest of the stage a little scary for now. It does save a good bit of time, though. This auto-scroller, this crusher section, I really can't do anything to get past the beginning very quickly. But that makes up for the fact that the last portion is extremely scary. I'm gonna be hurrying once I get up there. Okay, gotta go. Ooh, this is, looking good. Oh, come on. Ooh, didn't make it. So I wanted to go for that at least once. I'm not gonna go for it again, but you can see how tight that is. And I did manage to get that in my current PB. But yeah, I am not going for that again. That is, very tight, very, very scary. But it saves quite a lot of time. And it is unfortunately at the end of the crusher section, so when doing attempts, if you screw that up, you literally have to reset. It costs so much time having to go back. But I'm just gonna be safe for now. Just a little safer, because I still want to go fast. Gravediggers are back, and thankfully better than ever. We don't actually have to deal with them for too long at all. This room can be very terrifying, though. You can easily bounce up into the spikes. And as if that wasn't bad enough, we also get another revisit from Bertha. This time, though, she's gonna help us out. Just have to make sure. Come on. Ah! She gave me a good smooch. A good smooch for good luck. And I am not going to take my chances here. Definitely going to grab checkpoints and health from here on out. So I really like this auto-scroller compared to the other ones, because you actually have to do you have to be very active to stay alive in it. Secretly wishing that the auto-scroller sections had a way to remove their screen lock. Would be nice. It'd be a lot more fun. So this is a slight skip here. I'm gonna be a little safe here. This was found by Speedfrog, and it's a good way to get to the top here before it finishes scrolling. 2 health is enough to do the Black Knight fight, but if something goes wrong, it would really be scary, so I'm actually going to make sure I heal after this rail section.
Nah, this run is fine.
So yeah, this is Black Knight 2, and now he's in the air, and this stun lock is terrible. Gonna have to concentrate. Good. Every bit of this is calculated. I have to hit him at specific moments. Looking good! Nice, okay. Yeah, you really have to make sure that you hit him and damage boost at specific moments, and even the whiff attacks where I'm bouncing off of Terrapin's shell. Those are specifically placed as well. So shoutouts to Speedfrog again for that kill. That's actually the kill that I go for. One more stage to do. The final stage here is just a tower climb and 2 boss fights. Whoops. Zelda fans may remember the structure of this room. Luckily, Specter doesn't really have time to deal with dodging all this stuff, so we're just gonna chill up here. Too edgy. He has no time for games. Shoutouts to Speedfrog one last time there. There is a very dumb trick he found called Hand Touch 2.0, where you kind of slip through that room in such a way that the tile blocks aren't fully missing. You can jump back into the room, land on the tile blocks, and then jump back into this room, and you'll actually skip having to deal with the appearing block puzzle in that room. What a guy! Really wants the YOLO strats here. So now we're coming up on the Enchantress, and she is incredibly lethal, so I'm definitely gonna grab this checkpoint. Gonna go for some really hard strats here.
Nah, this run is
She deals
fine.
a full heart of damage with all of her attacks, so I need to make sure I'm careful. Nice, I got the aerial chase. Okay, looking good so far. Come on, want these out of the way. That's not great. Still okay. I really don't want to take any more damage, though. I was kind of hoping to get more hits on her. This is not looking great. I should be safe in this corner. I'm going to get some double hits on her. Good. 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 And I'm going to be safe now. I'm just going to chill up here. Come on. Give me some floor to stand on. Oh boy. This is fine. And one more attack, one more attack. Yeah, she is really, really scary. That fight could have gone better. I could have killed her while she was passing under the floor, but I missed out on some of the hits in the middle.
Nah, this run is fine.
And this is the last boss here, Nightmare Reese. Time comes up when we do the last hit to him. Reese ain't so bad himself, but these rails are actually extremely random. And I would prefer that they stay right next to his face. Nice, because then I can do some steady DPS on him. So hopefully one more time. Come on, cooperate. That's good. That's good enough. All of his attacks also deal full heart damage, but it's definitely much... ooh, that's not too bad at all. It's much scarier that these rails here can kind of leave a gap and drop you into the abyss. Okay, looking good. Just gotta survive one more set of lanterns. Oh, okay, this is fine. Good, timing. 4702, that's not too bad. For safety's sake, I would actually put the estimate of this up to 55. I'd love to put a 50 estimate on this game, for low percent anyway. But deaths on bosses can be extremely costly. And I am going to make sure I grab lots of safety checkpoints, but even so, low percent is just a very scary category. So I'd be very happy to get this kind of time in a marathon. Only had a handful of deaths, one to Shield Knight, one to the Crusher section, I believe. But yeah, low percent, super spooky. So thank you for watching, and I really hope that you'll consider this this category for your marathon.